Today is February 24th. This is Al with you again, and we are doing a part two to Mo NIMS, the self-proclaimed league villain. How are you, Mo?
Good, how about you?
All right. We needed to redo a second part to your episode due to some questions were left unanswered. So we need to address them, if you don't mind. You have time?
Yeah, I have a few minutes.
Oh, okay. Good. So do I. All right. There was a couple of things I wanted to address. First of all, I can't seem to get over the whole top four comment you made yesterday. Based on what grounds do you think you'll finish top four?
Based on the fact that right now I have a good quarterback room. Right now we're going to go with two as the QB1, but obviously we have good fallback options. You know, we got Lamar, who's when healthy, top 5 fantasy quarterback. As you can see in the beginning of the year, he's putting up Madden numbers, 50, 60-point games when he was healthy. He had a couple of injuries, kind of put him out for the season, and then he kind of went away. And we got Aaron Rodgers when he's in the right situation with the right weapons. He's unstoppable. He's been back. He won a back-to-back MVP year. A down year for Aaron Rodgers is a good year for anybody else at quarterback. So I expect Aaron Rodgers to bounce back depending on the situation he's in. And I also got solid running backs and solid receivers, and I also got draft equity that I'm working with. So my offseason is not quite done yet. We're looking at possibly adding a tight end and a wide receiver. And I think if we add one more wide receiver and one more tight end, if we upgrade a tight end, we're going to be great. We're going to be a top 4 team. I've done this before. I've taken a team that was in last before. I've made it a top 4 team before. It's not anything impossible for me.
Yeah, you did that one time 7 years ago. But let me address something with you real quick. You're a tight end away and a wide receiver away from being that, according to you, right?
Honestly, I think right now, like the team that I have right now that I'm running with, Garrett Wilson's an obvious wide receiver 1. He had no quarterbacks in a rookie season, and he put up 1,100 yards and 5 or 6 touchdowns and 83 receptions. Like that's great numbers. That's wide receiver 1 numbers. So I was obviously going to get better from there. You got Drake London, who performed better with Desmond Ridder and looked like the wide receiver 1. So, and you got Christian Watch, who performed this like that. So, like those guys, if they continue to progress, those are guys eventually that are going to be in the starting lineup. And you also got Christian Kirk, who had another 1,000-yard receiving years. Like I have the weapons. They're getting better. They're young.
But hasn't there been other players in the NFL that came out flying in their rookie year and accomplished nothing after that? So what makes your players more special than everybody else?
These are first rounders, right? And I'm not saying tomorrow that they're going to be legends putting on the Hall of Fame jacket or anything like that. What I'm trying to say is I'm trusting the process. I'm doing my due diligence on these players, and these teams look at these players like leaders and captains. So it's not like a troubled player. It's not, not hearing anything bad about them. It's not somebody who had, one solid game that went south for 2-3 games. Like these are players who were consistent all season long, and we're going to continue to keep an eye on their development. And I've done that in the past. I've done pretty well with my draft picks in previous years.
Okay, so if we just want to go based off recent track record, so what do you think is an ideal number to go based off of? 2 years, 3 years, 4 years?
What do you mean?
We're going to go based off your track record.
For, like, what are you trying to say, like, how many years I've been in the league?
No, you've been in the league 7 years. I'm just saying, like, you're saying you're going to finish top 4 team. Because I can name you right now about 7 teams, 8 teams that I think would finish ahead of you in the standings.
That's fine. But listen, we all got opinions.
No.
That doesn't mean your opinion is the gospel.
No, I understand that. Same goes for you. You know what I'm saying? But
100%.
Based on recent history, the last 3 years alone, you finished 11th, 10th, and 11th in the standings.
Yes.
What makes next year any different? What's different about next year than you have from your current roster now?
Yeah, so right now, I've gone back to my ways from year 1. Drafting solid rookies, staying young, and not training for old superstars. I'm not training for the big name anymore. I'm training for players that I can develop and that are going to help me win and that are producing on the field. I no longer am chasing the Odell Beckham or the superstar Antonio Brown. I'm chasing players that are good, that are young, and that are producing. And I'm also I've picked assets. I have assets in every year of draft picks. I have multiple first in every year's draft class.
Okay.
So right now I'm in position where I can build through the draft for the next 3-4 years and be good, or I could use 1 or 2 draft picks and trade the other 1 or 2 draft picks and land a superstar in both the draft and in a trade.
Okay.
So I have multiple ways of building this roster out. And this offseason, it's still fresh. It still smells like Similac.
Okay. Let me ask you a question regarding your trade offers. You have a history in this league when you make an offer to somebody, you inquire about a player, and in the process of inquiring for that player, you tend to put that player down, belittle him, degrade him, take away all his accomplishments, and act like you're doing the team a favor by trying to trade for that player.
Yeah, I've never really like belittled a player where I'm like, oh, I'm giving you, king's ransom for a garbage player. There's a reason why I'm trading for that player, but people are like, oh, this player's a top 3 player. It's like, yeah, he might be a top 3 player.
You did that last year with the wide receiver from Jacksonville.
Christian Kirk?
Yeah. You were selling him off last year as if he was a top 3 player.
I never said he was a top 3 player, but he did finish in the top 15 for fantasy wide receivers.
Last year, you were offering him up in the beginning of the year as if he's an elite wide receiver.
And he finished with 1,000 yards and 8 or 9 touchdowns.
But I'm asking you, is he an elite wide receiver?
I wouldn't say he's elite, but I'd say he's a wide receiver too. And even with Calvin Ridley there, he's still a wide receiver too. He actually performs better in playing in the slot. So now that he's going to be in the slot mainly, he's going to perform even better. Trevor Lawrence is a great quarterback. He's going to be good.
We're shying away from the point of the question.
Yeah.
Your strategy when you reach out to teams for a trade.
I don't ever call him elite, but what I will say is he's a player that's on my team that I feel like I can slot him every week and he can give me 15 to 20 points confidently.
Again, you're avoiding the question.
I never said he's elite in trade talks.
Is that your tactic in trade negotiations? When you reach out for a player, you try to point out as many negatives as possible on the player you're trying to acquire so you can get him for less.
That's never my goal, and if it came across that way, that's definitely poor ways of trading, and I don't think I do that. I think it's exaggerated a bit, but what I do is, hey, listen, I have this player over here, this is what he's done this past year. You know what I'm saying? We have a lot of people in this league that they don't know football, and I'm just being truthful when I say that. They don't know what a good wide receiver 1 is or a good wide receiver 2 is. They're like,
you do?
His numbers are not that good. I feel like I know more than the average person.
Finishing 11th, 11th, and 6th and 7th in the last 4 years in the standings.
So what I will say is this year was done on purpose.
What about the year before?
Stayed true. The year prior was done at my own expense.
What about the year before that?
The year before I made the playoffs.
Yes, you did, but you barely made it at 6 and 7.
Exactly.
You were 11th in scoring.
That following year, I had made a trade for. It was a horrible trade. I'd given up. It was like 3 firsts and a couple players for Patrick Mahomes. It was basically the beginning of the end for me. It was me just trying to trade for the big name because I thought this is what was going to take my team over the top, and it really wasn't. The Odell Beckham, the Antonio Brown, those kind of guys really hurt my team, and those are bad GM mistakes that I made, and I've recognized those moves. At least I'm man enough to realize that I made a mistake. And now I go back and I fix it. I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm going to get younger. I'm going to acquire assets. I have picks in every year's draft class, and I got superstars finishing in the top 15.
What about
in their category?
Let's talk about last year when you guys were basically doing gimme trades with Big Z to help him out, just for him to score 91 points in the playoffs. Do you feel like you helped in that?
I never purposely gave. Did you just call him Big Z?
Yeah, that's my nickname for him.
He ain't big. He's like 5'3". Okay, go on. Sorry, I'm gonna get off track here. Big Z, quotations around Big Z there. I never did a trade to help him out. I made trades that he won on. I'm not gonna lie, but they were never to help him out. That's not my thing. There's a reason why I'm moving Big Z on trade no more. Quotations around Big Z, because Big Z.
You keep saying quotations. So what are you trying to say? He's small.
He is small. He's 5'3".
Oh wow.
He's 5'3".
Okay.
Yeah.
Small
Z.
Small Z. Okay. Listen.
So he when I went to acquire for Josh Allen, wanted 3 firsts for Josh Allen. No one's giving you 3 firsts for a quarterback in this market. That's not what happens. I just traded for Lamar Jackson, who's top 5 when he's healthy. I gave a 2025 first. That was very fair.
When he's healthy.
Exactly.
When was the last time Lamar Jackson finished the season?
3 years ago.
Yeah.
But these past 2 seasons, he missed 6 games in each season. This past season, I personally think he was healthy, but I think he sat out because he realized stepping on the field was a big mistake.
So you saying he sat out knowing that his team was sitting pretty in a playoff spot?
I'm not saying that's a for sure thing because I haven't had the chance to ask Lamar himself. But what I am saying is I think he realized that he's potentially. Listen, here's the thing. You as a man, right? If you're playing on a $30 million rookie contract, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have the ability to make $230 million, but if you tear your ACL or Achilles, you no longer get that $230 million guaranteed. You're not going to step on that field because you're not going to risk anything. So
yes, I would. I am the first one to always say, and you can ask anybody in the city, I say players need to honor their contracts.
I agree.
They need to honor. You signed that contract, you have to play it out.
You signed a rookie deal.
But finish out your rookie deal. Finish it out. Finish it out.
But I agree. Listen, I agree. I'm not saying that's exactly what happened. What I'm trying to say is if he had to sit out for a little hamstring strain that lasted 6 weeks, so be it. I feel like next year's going to come in healthy with fresh legs.
Let's move past this because we're not an NFL talk show. We're the John Bull Fantasy.
Yeah. Go back to Big Z. I never helped out Big Z in one trade. I made bad deals with Big Z, but they weren't like horrible deals. Can you name a player that I gave Big Z that until this day he's benefiting off that trade? It's not an Evil Empire trade. Give me a player that's on Big Z's team that he's still benefiting off of.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up for you right now, my friend.
Yeah.
Here we go. All right. Boom. Let's go. One. Where are you? Here you are.
Big Z. You hear this, guys?
Okay. You traded the first and a 10 for Chase Claypool.
That first was 3 years out, correct?
That first was... Actually, no, it was not. It was the following year.
So it was 2023?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Okay.
Chase Claypool, in my eyes, and I have, email proof. You look at Chase Claypool's career stats. Like his rookie year, he had 10 touchdowns, and I'm trying to think of what he did prior to that. But I've been really high on Chase Claypool. So he gave me a first back in return, didn't he?
I'm looking at it right now. Hold on. Week 6. I'm at week 6 right now. James Conner. I'm looking at the wrong year here, buddy.
It was in the beginning of the offseason. It was like right before the draft.
Yeah.
I can explain why I traded that 10th pick. Explain that.
Okay, here it is. Trade. I saw him. Actually, it wasn't that year either. Okay. It was just that one trade that year. But do you feel all those helping with the trades? Because let's not deny that you and Assam did make multiple trades with him, which started that whole rotator thing that everybody said you guys basically gutted your own teams to help him, and neither one of you guys have done anything since.
I made one trade with Z and I gutted my whole team for him.
You've made more than one trade with him. That 1 year you made one trade, but you've made multiple trades with him since he's been in the league.
So I'm asking you to name one player on his team that I don't have his roster up, but I'm trying to think of one player that I traded to Z.
I'm pulling his roster up
that I
right
regret.
now. Pulling his roster up right now, my friend.